Hello there, Aquarius, and welcome to your December reading. It's really great to see everybody again, and I hope that this month has gotten off to a great start for all of you. As I've been saying on all of my intros this month, I really am looking forward to seeing what's coming through for each sign because December kind of is a magical month. It's that gateway between this year and what's coming ahead. And 2020 is a foundational year. It's a number 4 when you reduce all of the numbers in numerology. And just like the Four of Wands, a foundational year allows you to really build upon relationships, business, and also personal development. So with all of that in mind, what I'm really trying to do for each and every sign this month is to identify areas that you're ready to release and maybe some of the trends and opportunities that are going to come through in January. Before I get into all of that information, I'd like to take just one moment here to say welcome back to all of my return viewers. It's great to see you, especially at this time of the year, and I appreciate the support that you're giving me and also the work that you're doing on yourself. That's my inspiration for coming back every month, so thank you. Likewise, I'd like to really extend a nice warm welcome to anybody who is here for the first time. You joined on one of the best months possible because, like I said, it's going to be jam-packed with a lot of information. And let me give you a quick overview so you know exactly what to expect for this month. I like to begin every reading with some channeled information. That's when I connect directly with my guides and I share whatever I hear, feel, or see with you. After that, I like to use the Celtic Cross to help us see all of the high points, the challenges, and all of the various opportunities that are going to present themselves over the course of December. And then I like to extend the forecast to include some key areas that I know you care about, including health, wealth, love, and destiny. If you enjoy what you see, and I certainly hope you do, then I'd love for you to stick around until the very end of the video. It's at this point that not only will I give you a nice overview of everything that we talked about, but I'll also let you know how you can give back and get involved with the channel if you're interested. This includes everything from, of course, liking and subscribing to joining me on social media, to booking an appointment, or even becoming a patron. All of this will be detailed at the end of the video, but I know you're interested in everything that's coming through for December, so let's talk about the channeled message right now. This month, as I selected a deck of cards and I began to meditate on your sign, the first thing that I paid attention to was this feeling of being sort of stuck for a moment. It was almost as if I was a tree firmly planted, but I had this desire to kind of want to go into another direction, to stretch, to try something new. So I took another deep breath and then I felt the energy of what felt like a frog, a tree frog. And suddenly I was no longer stuck, I was actually moving forward. And that forward momentum was this feeling of absolute freedom and liberation. So what I wrote down in automatic writing is that a leap of faith will set you free this month. For some of you, it's just giving yourself permission to try something new. So maybe you felt like you've just been stuck in the same house too long, the same job too long, or you've just been sort of doing the same old routine. So this month, it's really a good time to shake things up, to try something new, and to take some risks because part of evolution, part of living is, making sure that you're not constantly on sort of like the repeat button. So I think that this month, if there is a new activity that you can try, a new approach to something that you want to do at work, for instance, just routines need to be broken a little bit. And I feel like this is going to open you up to some of the new stuff that wants to come through in 2020. So when we look at the cards here in just a minute, I'm going to see what kind of changes might be happening for you. Maybe, again, it could be a new relationship, a move, taking a class. All of these sort of things will come in and kind of mix up your energy a little bit and ultimately make you feel more alive. I love trees, but sometimes they just feel very, very stuck. And I'd rather you have the energy of like a leapfrog, being able to travel from place to place with ease, with speed, and with a little sense of freedom. And that's kind of what the energy of December is bringing in for you. So let's go ahead now and take a look at the cards and see what additional insights and granularity they can yield for all of the opportunities for this month, the highs, the lows, and maybe some of these exciting changes that want to come through. All right, let's begin and look at your Catalyst card. Just a reminder that the Catalyst functions as a connective thread for everything that we're about to look at, and it's also a way to stay in the highest frequency and really attach to the best possibilities of the month. So it's an important card. This month, we have a beautiful card that represents both the energy of the heart and also the energy of nature. I'm going to turn it upright so you can see this wonderful illustration here. You'll notice that this woman's heart center is opening up. This is a month where it's really important for you to invest in things that you feel on a heart and soul level. So if there's anything that you want to do from a place of service, this could be like volunteer work. If there's a project that you want to work on, maybe some sort of artistic endeavor, or some of you might also be opening up and expressing love in a relationship. What I see here is a really strong connection between you and the divine, and also for some of you, you and a divine project or a divine partner. So love is a wonderful and abundant energy that's coming through and touching your sign this month. Please use it in your life. I often say that it's the currency of the universe, and it's the one thing that really is without bounds. It lasts throughout time and space, and if you call it in and channel it in the right way, which is kind of what this person is doing, then there is no limit to love. So that's the message with this. For those of you that are looking for a way to sort of connect with love in everyday life, this is a very nature-based card. When I looked at this, I saw what looked like a fleur-de-lis, like the old French flower that you would see on some of the illustrations, but also known as an iris or a flag. And to me, it reminded me of one of those. So what I'm seeing for many of you is sort of a call from the universe to get out and do something for the environment, or to get involved with nature. Plants, for instance, obviously I'm a fan, they're all over the place. The reason that I use real live plants in my house, and also I have some on my balcony, is because the energy is wonderfully healing. Whenever you kind of breathe on the plant and tend to the soil and water it and love it, it's just like anything else in your life that you put energy in, it loves you right back. So if you're looking for a natural way to heal yourself and also help the planet, go buy a plant for the holiday, whether it's a poinsettia or a Christmas cactus or something like that, or an orchid, or something that's indigenous to the region that you live in. Do something beautiful and then go outside and plant it. It's even better if you get one that's not just cut flowers. Get something that you can put into the earth and watch it grow and celebrate this wonderful energy exchange. I know it might sound a little bit weird, but when you start to work with the energy of plants, it's really a great way to open up your natural healing abilities. And you will be, you'll notice that the space that you put it in is actually elevated. So if there's a room that you live in and it just sort of, the energy feels heavy, you can put fresh cut flowers, but it's better if you put a potted plant, and just take care of it and allow it to start to transform the energy of the space, okay? So whether you're opening up to love, a project, or connecting with nature, all of these things are going to really help your heart chakra sing, and this is going to help you with some of the other changes that we see this month, and we'll talk about that as we get to it. Your central card is the Five of Pentacles, and this has to do as much with boundaries as it does with the actual appearance of time, energy, money, aka resources in your life. So let's talk a little bit about why I think this is more about limits and also requesting what you need or what you deserve. The crossing or modification card here was Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands portends really good things. This is showing for those of you that own a business or are a merchant or freelance that basically there's some pent-up demand. There's a lot of busy clientele that are coming through this month. For the rest of you that are just kind of looking at your life, this is showing a lot of interest, a lot of activity, a lot of people that are vying for your time and affection. Let's go back to the resource card now. So with all of that energy surrounding you, which is interested in you because you have something worthwhile, whether it's your time, whether it's your space, whether it's something that you're giving to them in a good or service, they care about you and they're interested. Now, this card is one that is not of enough, basically. It's less than. Because if you look at the suit of Pentacles, you start to break even around the Six of Pentacles. You have a little bit more than enough, but you still have to be discerning. With the Five of Pentacles, you're starting to struggle a bit. You barely break even, and there are some months where you don't. So this means for some of you that either you're being undervalued, you might not be getting the wage that you deserve, or there are people in your life kind of symbolically that are just taking too much from you. So this can be in a simple relationship where someone's always needing help, always complaining, never really listening, never really being present the way you need them to. So simply in that particular situation, have better boundaries. You don't always have to pick up the phone or always answer the text. You could also say, I really need help with this. Can you help me? And ask for whatever kind of assistance or support it is that you need. Let them know how to show up. So better boundaries, requests for assistance, and then for those of you that do actually have a service or a business, this is saying that you need to reevaluate how you are charging or breaking down your service fees. Something is off, and you might want to take a look at other merchants, other competitors, and see how they break it down, because they may have a better way of doing it. You may be undercharging, and by doing that, yes, you're busy, but you're working so hard that you're kind of burning the candle at both ends. So you have to be healthy and happy and recover all the time and energy you're putting into it. So there's something off a little bit, and it's easily fixable in the case of being undervalued. If you're a merchant, you could just kind of adjust, like I said, either adjust how much you're giving or how much you're charging, or the increments, if it's anything that's, kind of like either in sizes or in time lengths, you can kind of look at that and reevaluate. The other thing with this is it's a card of healing, and particularly when it comes to relationships between parents and children. Almost, I would say 9 times out of 10, it's a mom and a child. So if there's any healing that needs to be done between you and your mother, or if you're a mother, between you and your children, this is the time of year to do it. And that respective and energy is thinking about you. So it's either your mom or your kid that's thinking about you, and this is a time for you to really clear that space so that you can then in your relationships elsewhere start to have healthier connections, because our parents are kind of the templates for our first relationships in our life. So that's why a lot of times issues that come through in childhood repeat themselves when we have friends of our own or love interests of our own. And so the more you can heal your parental sort of connections from the past, the better you're going to have luck with both your friendships, your work relationships, and also money issues in life as well. So somewhere there needs to be healing, balance, or boundaries. And once you attend to that, things are going to be okay. Also, just from a perspective of your body, this does have to do with being careful with your legs, your knees, your ankles. Sometimes there is chronic pain or a tendency to twist an ankle or have a repetitive injury, or maybe you just have pains in your joints from old injuries when you were in school. Whatever it is, just be kind to your body and try not to overdo walking, running, etc. Get a good pair of shoes and take care of yourself. It's a good gift for the holiday season. All right, I think we covered everything that we possibly could. The Five of Pentacles is a lot, but since it's at the center, it deserved a little extra time and energy. I love Eight of Wands. I want to say that for many of you, you're setting yourself up for success for the next year. The Eight of Wands just shows that you're really busy. There's a lot of opportunities. Don't be afraid to be picky. That's the other thing with the Five of Pentacles. You don't have to say yes to everything. If there's a lot of invitations or a lot of opportunities, the pickier you are, the better. I think sometimes it's much more preferable to do less, but do it better and to really enjoy what you're doing than to kind of just feel like you're going in 100 directions at once. As we look at the deep past, there's also a suggestion to slow it down a little bit. We have the Five of Wands. I'm going to turn it upright so you can see it. This is a card that indicates working hard, and it's actually a really great card to show up anywhere in the spread. Whenever I see this, I know that someone is hardworking, they're not lazy. In fact, they're probably overdue for a vacation, and that's what we see with this. One big piece of advice that's coming through for this is to find a way to get back into your motivation. So with the Five of Wands, what can happen sometimes is it's almost like you're in the thicket. You can't see outside of where you're at. Razor focus or blinders on. So what you want to do is find a way to get back into what it is that got you inspired initially to do this type of work. If you're a student, you want to get out in the world and see how this is going to apply to skills that are going to be marketable. So talk to a professional, go to a museum, do whatever it is that you're going to be doing and see it out in the real world, and then get inspired about learning about that again. For those of us that are kind of mid-career, this can also be about finding things outside of work that inspire us as well. We constantly need things to make us feel like we're happy, that we're expressing ourselves. Fulfillment is basically what's coming through for this. So motivation, fulfillment, purpose. What is the bigger purpose? So if you work really hard at a company, but it advocates for the environment or for social justice or something else, then the work is worth it because you see how it's affecting the world. Somehow this month you have to remind yourself what your motivation is. It could just be simply to provide for your family, and that's a-okay as well. But whatever it is, it feels like motivation has been lost. And I think that taking some time off, and again, advocating for more money and really putting some better limits, all of that's going to help with the fatigue and the motivation issues, okay? The other thing that I want to say with this particular card is it's Divine Feminine. You can see that. And I think that for some of you, that maternal energy at the center is also something that you want to pay attention to. For those of you that are mothers and have given a lot to your family, to your spouse, to the world, this is saying it's your turn to put that Divine Feminine energy back into your life. Do something kind for yourself. It doesn't matter what it is, but just love yourself, nurture yourself. Even just going and getting a haircut can be something that is a way of practicing self-care, self-love. Find whatever it is in your life and treat yourself this month. It's well worth it. All right, looking now at the Five of Swords. So many fives this month, really interesting. It's clear that you're kind of working through things, but each of these fives has a different kind of window onto your life. The Five of Swords is about transparent communication and not second-guessing yourself. If there's anyone in your life where you feel like they don't have your best interest at heart, or you can't win in a conversation with them, or you don't trust them, this is a really good month to distance yourself. This is in the recent past, so I feel like all of these fives are areas of your life that you need to improve. Five of Pentacles, self-worth. Five of Wands, motivation and purpose. Five of Swords, communication, trust, and again, realizing that you shouldn't have to defend who you are to other people. If they truly love you and know who you are, they're going to celebrate whatever your unique flavor is that you bring to the world. So be yourself, be strong, stand up for yourself. That self-worth is going to attract a higher caliber of partner and friend and colleague in the future. So we have the Six of Swords here. This could be a decision to move, to leave a job, to travel, and also to just kind of distance yourself from someone. Again, there might be someone in your life that just isn't giving you the support or the visibility that you deserve, and that card is saying, it's okay. Find your purpose. If what you have been doing leaves you sort of desiring something more, this one is saying it's out there. Whatever it is that you're looking for, you can find a new tribe, a new purpose, a new connection. Now, the interesting thing here is it also feels like this month you might be putting into practice some new habits, some new ideas, and maybe even some of you might be decorating or redecorating your house. I'm not just talking about, holiday ornaments and things like that. This is really looking at how can I make the space feel more like home? Because we have the Tower card in reverse. So when it comes to interior decoration and design, this is about making sure that the structure and the aesthetic is really fitting you from an energetic perspective and everything feels good. It can also be a reminder that there are some things that you need to maintain. So whether it's your house, your car, or anything, even a computer, there's some maintenance that might need to be done, and it comes through this month as preventative. So if you've been putting off fixing the roof or the water heater or getting a new set of tires for your car, this is the month to make sure that you are doing that so that you can avoid a full-on breakdown or leak or structural issue next year. So be proactive, put a little extra money into something like this. I know that some of you may feel like you're tapped out a little bit, but I think that when it comes to preventative maintenance, you can't really put a dollar sign on having peace of mind and knowing that it's not going to kind of like get worse next year. So pick and choose, and over the next few months, I think it's important to do all of that. This also extends to things like going to the doctor and the dentist and whatnot. Just make sure that you're taking care of yourself, your environment, and all of that's going to be important for you. Now, we have 3 cards that are showing some of you are in a point in your life where you might be leaving a job, leaving a relationship, moving, traveling, or all of the above. Six of Swords is distance in and of itself. It can also mean someone passing away or you just separating yourself from something. The Tower, relocation, restructuring, rebuilding, maintenance. The Ten of Wands is also kind of more of a voluntary move or traveling or commuting, But with 3 cards that show moving or relocation, some of you are thinking about where should I be? And you might be also looking between 2 to 3 locations. So I think it's really important to test those areas out before you go. The 6 of Swords is about taking little mini trips and making sure that you could, really see yourself walking down Main Street and going to the library and, making peace with how much noise there is or how far away you are from the city if you're looking for something out in the suburbs or a more rural setting. So give yourself time, give yourself space, explore your options. And this one really is about kind of like taking a trek and seeing everything around that space. Make a smart decision. If you're thinking of getting a new job or you're thinking of some other shift in your life, this is again saying you have to really think it through and envision yourself in that space and maybe go there with someone else or talk to someone else that works there. If it's a company, just get an outside perspective. That's going to help. You don't want to jump straight into that. Even though I said a leap of faith will set you free, what I'm seeing with the 3 of these for that kind of change is just make sure you've done your homework first, then take the leap, okay? As we look at your ego message this month, it's Page of Pentacles in reverse. This is saying it's really important for you to push back a little bit on costs. So if there is something that you're buying, if you're buying or selling a house, this is a month where you're going to have to really play around a little bit with the market. I actually saw that in another sign as well. We had a similar sort of issue where it could be a multiple of 10 or 10%. Something's off a little bit with your asking price or their asking price. So try to negotiate. I think that's going to be really important. The other thing is don't be afraid to ask for details. This is a card where you need some tangible sort of breakdown of what it's going to cost and why it costs that much. You might find that when you do that, they're going to adjust things. Get a second opinion, get 2 or 3 quotes. Be very careful here, be very discerning, because I feel like you can make your dime stretch a little bit further if you do that research. As we look at the environment, we have the Knight of Wands, and wands are great. This is about being able to take an idea and really get other people behind it. It's a good leadership card. Anything from Knight, Queen, or King really shows an ability to take something and bring it into fruition. In fact, right above that, we have the Emperor card. So I feel like some of you might be deciding to try something on your own. This comes across more as a small business when it's a Knight of Wands, but the Emperor shows me that this has the ability to grow into something really significant. You might also be meeting someone this month, for those of you that are single and looking, that has an interesting sort of combination. They're either young with an old soul, or they're older, but they don't look their age. They act really, really young and playful. So I see new energy coming in, potentially new love, and we saw that here with this heart space opening up. So if that's happening, this could also explain why the Tower energy comes in, because that throws everything into a brand new sort of area when there's new love or new energy. So kind of feel that out as you're going through it, but I'm not seeing anything overtly negative. It actually seems pretty good. The Emperor card shows me maturity. So again, whether it's a young person that's mature or a mature person that just has this playful energy, feels like it could be a good match for you. If you're in a partnership this month, I will say this, it does look like there might be a need to separate yourself. So if it's a business one, the 6 of Swords, the Tower, and the 10 of Wands means that you might be dissolving that partnership and taking ownership yourself, deciding to either sell or buy out the other partner, and this is going to portend good things for you. I like the Emperor here in the opportunity space. This means that whatever you take away from this experience, you're going to be able to leverage it and use it elsewhere. So if you're just getting your independence, you can go and find a better job. If you're going to take the company or some of the assets, you'll be able to repackage them and sell them. Whatever it is, I like what you're doing. I think it's good. If it's in an existing company, this means to fight for seniority. This is your turn to step up. There is a chance for you to get another position, a raise, or something different, but some sort of an opportunity that you didn't see yourself in. I want you to kind of really go out on a limb and ask for it. And that 10 of Wands is saying, I think I can do it. Even if you don't think I can do it, I'm willing to take on that extra challenge, because this is a card of needing to balance more of a load. So all of that being said, I see some great growth with respect to career. I see some openings in relationships. I see some relationships falling apart, however. 5 of Pentacles can show, for some of you in a really close-knit like partnership, a love relationship, that you're just feeling like the other partner doesn't see you. They aren't appreciating you. They aren't reciprocating the love. And so it may start off actually as an estrangement, because this isn't necessarily divorce. This can also mean living separately, or a kind of difficult living situation, and this can also be you deciding to kind of move out. If you do find yourself in a sort of relationship crisis and you're wondering, can you work it out? The answer is yes, but there's a lot of work to be done. The Five of Pentacles, Five of Swords, and also the Five of Wands. That's why there needs to be separation. I think both parties need to sort out what it is that they want. For those of you in a happy, committed relationship where everything seems to be going well, I would say just really be there for your partner if you feel like everything's okay, because that Five of Pentacles can show that they may not feel the same way. And if you're in a place where you just need a little extra help, then lean on your partner. They're there to help you out. Let's now expand the forecast and look at health, wealth, love, and destiny, beginning with your health card, which again isn't always just what's going on in your body, but a lot of times how you feel and also what's going on in your energy system. This month, it's actually echoing what we saw at the center. We have a divine masculine card here, represented by Jesus, and it says, forgiveness. You are on the path of love, of light, and forgiveness. Father healing is possible at this time as well. And this is father-son. So it's not just mother-son, mother-daughter. It's also father-son, father-daughter as well. So let's just basically say if there's something going on in your family where you're holding on to some sort of an energy from your parents, or you're a parent and you're estranged from your children, there's a chance this particular month to do some sort of a step, even if it's just in your heart space, to let go. Forgiveness is really powerful. Even if you just forgive yourself, I think that's always the first step, because sometimes if people have hurt us, it's hard to figure out how you're going to make peace with that. But I think step one is to forgive yourself for being in a situation that wasn't your fault to begin with. And then the rest is going to come in time if it's something that you feel like doing. I will say this though, when you hold on to anger, resentment, hurt, what happens is you're kind of internalizing and memorializing a moment. When you forgive, it is a release that happens. It is really what we see here with the Six of Swords. It's kind of a decision that I don't want to live in that moment forever, and I don't want to give you that power. I'm going to take the power back. I'm going to move on. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to celebrate love and life and everything that is in front of me. So I think that's kind of some of the messages here, that there's so much to live for. There's so many other things to focus on. At the very least, focus on release. And I think that's going to be a key aspect to your happiness and to your health. As we look at wealth, we have a very self-empowered card. It says enlightenment. And the interesting thing here is it feels like you don't need to go to anybody for this assistance. The card is reversed, which means you're actually realizing that the skills or the sort of insight that you're looking for is already here within you. And it's basically the Emperor card coming through once more. So for some of you, this is a chance to just be independent. Independent at your own business, or if you're working in a current company, this is about not necessarily following the lead, following your own intuition, your gut, and deciding, I think I'm going to do this. That leap of faith could be what separates you from the rest of the crowd and what provides a breakthrough opportunity. The Tower isn't always bad. This could be some really unexpected good news that causes you to adjust and think, what am I going to do now? And the Ten of Wands that we saw at the outcome can also be a decision now. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to try something new. So the other thing that I'm seeing here with respect to your current situation is you already know what you need to ask for. This card is about really accepting what it is that you want and fighting for it. And this card is telling me that you don't really have to ask that many people. You know what you should earn. You know if you should take an opportunity. This is really a time to trust your own instinct. It's going to lead you down the right path. And to that end, as we look at your love card, which doesn't just include love relationships in your life, it can also be partnerships, business partnerships, anyone in your life with whom you're really spending some time and energy. It says it should all be in the flow. The message says everything is smooth sailing. The interesting thing for this is that smooth sailing could actually be a decision to just take some time apart, to move on, to try something new. You may even end up getting the blessing from, like maybe a boss, for instance, to go for a new job or to leave and maybe take a sabbatical. So I feel like this situation is much more in your control than you think for some of you. The Tower reversed is a restructuring card. So if it's about leaving a job or taking a break from something in your life, maybe school or some other sort of commitment, then you have a chance. And I think that this could be a really good experience for you. This is sort of a soul-searching card, the Ten of Wands sometimes. You have to go down a new path and try something out. Just know that there's a doorway that's left open behind you, and if you want to come back, you can, which is kind of nice to see. That doesn't always exist. As we look at your outcome this month, the Destiny card, it says unexpected visitors. So the cool thing is perhaps you're going to have a chance to reconnect with an old friend, an old colleague, or you might just have someone literally come knocking on your door, giving you a call. And I don't think it's necessarily bad at all, because we have the Emperor card here, which shows that there's a nice mature energy to that. And there might be some sort of a new idea or opportunity that comes knocking as well. So as you visualize for things this month, you could be really specific and say, I'm looking forward to finding this type of job or this type of opportunity or this type of person in my life. And then there could just be a happy sort of serendipitous meeting where you are out getting coffee and you bump into somebody and a conversation ensues. So work on your manifestation skills this month, because you have the capacity to magnetically bring someone into your life. So why not try to affect who it is and maybe even when it happens. All right, at this point, I'd like to turn the camera down and review everything that we talked about. After that, I will leave you with your closing message. Your channeled message this month was to take a leap of faith, to try something new, knowing that this is going to reinvigorate your life, really set you free. And we saw that movement happening here. We have the Six of Swords, we have the Tower, we have the Ten of Wands. Some of you may be leaving a job, a relationship, a house, and just maybe even a way of living. This is an exciting time, and really it's up to you as to what kind of change you want, but I definitely see those cards coming through in this spread. We have a Divine Feminine card here showing an opening within the heart space, doing something passionate in your life that's bringing you a sense of joy and fulfillment. This is also a card of unfolding or unfurling, because I see that iris in the background, or that fleur-de-lis. So do something with nature as well, knowing that that's going to be a way to connect to the energy. At the center of the spread, we had the Five of Pentacles. This is about boundaries, self-worth, asking for what you need in your life, and really making sure that there is reciprocity. Because as we look at the Eight of Wands, there's a lot of interest in you and what you have to offer, so don't second guess who you are, how much you're worth, and don't be afraid to stand up for that. We also saw that in the ego, particularly when it comes to selling a house or negotiating for a new job. Five of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Five of Swords, showing very different aspects of your personality. Five of Wands is about motivation and grounding yourself in purpose again. Five of Swords is about really being discerning about who you're with. The fact that the Six of Swords quickly follows it and is also followed by the Tower shows me that there might be someone in your life that's either stepping away from you or vice versa. You're deciding to move on from them. This can also be a card of passing, someone passing away, someone dying, someone being sick. Just know that with this card in the crowning position, you do want to spend some time and focus on that person this month. We also have the Five of Pentacles here in the center, so take care of yourself, take care of them. And if you are someone who is in that sort of caretaking role, just make sure that your life is balanced and you're not sort of working yourself too raggedly. The Tower reversed is something that you can control. Usually you have some sort of a say in this. It's a restructuring, rebuilding, redecorating type of card. So just take an active role in things and also be proactive. If there's anything with respect to machinery, your house, and even your body that needs some sort of preventative maintenance, this is the month to do it. When we're looking at your ego this month, stand up for yourself, ask for your net worth and your self-worth, really fight for what's important. And when you're trying to buy or sell something, there is a little bit of bargaining that's going to have to be done, so be ready for that. In the environment here, we have the Knight of Wands, a new opportunity, knocking on the door. This could be the visitor. This could also be something else that you're trying to sell to the world. The combination of the Emperor and the Knight is a very interesting sort of duo. This is showing me either a young person with great maturity or an older person that defies their age because they're youthful. As we look at the Emperor, this is about taking control of big parts of your life, and we see so much change going on here. This is a really significant month for like planning out for the next year, and some of you are taking that leap of faith. I joked a little bit about making sure that you've done your homework, but I feel like some of you may still have to be really sort of on the fly making some decisions. You may not have that much time to do all the research, but when we looked over here in wealth, I feel like some of you already have the requisite skills and intuition to make that choice, so just trust who you are and trust your intuition. 10 of Wands can be travel, commuting, moving, or an ending of a phase. Both the 6 of Swords and 10 of Wands show a natural sort of walking away or ending of something key in your life. So don't be afraid if you're ready to try something new this month to do it. The Emperor is very entrepreneurial and very capable of starting that idea. And there's a very sort of youthful vibe to whatever it is that you're doing. So I like what I'm seeing here along the side. The only thing that you might need is an investor to step in to help fund the project a little bit if it is a project. When we looked at the expanded forecast, health is about forgiveness. We saw mother and child forgiveness. Let's extend it to father and child as well. When we're looking at wealth, enlightenment is here, and it really showed me that you already have that which you seek, so trust your skills here. If you want to find a mentor, go for it, but really do look for that silver-haired person. I feel like you might need someone that's been around the block a few times. As we look at love, it's about following the natural evolution of things, even if that means stepping away from someone. These cards are about estrangement, breaking up, sort of reconfiguring what a partnership might look like. So whether it's business, love, or friendship, there are some changes afoot this month. Finally, there are some new people that might be coming into your life. That doesn't surprise me, considering that we see a couple of travel cards here. And we also see, again, in the environment, somebody that is brand new that might have a great idea as well. That brings this monthly reading to a close, but hopefully you got all the guidance you need for the month ahead. If you ever find that you're at a point where you need some additional clarification on something that we talked about here today, or maybe there's something going on in your life and you would like a little bit of advice, the good news is you can reach out to me. By clicking on the first card or the first link, you can check out my rates and availability on my booking site, and if it makes sense, feel free to schedule an appointment with me, and I look forward to chatting with you. You can also show your support by becoming a patron of the channel, and the way that you can do this is by clicking on the second card and or the second link. Once you get to that page, you'll see that there are several ways that you can give back, including a one-time contribution through PayPal, an ongoing contribution through Patreon, or now something that's new, the membership here on YouTube. To everyone that has made a contribution in the past, I just want to say thank you so much. All that you saw today, all of this content is a direct result of your kindness, your generosity, and your contribution. So I appreciate it. And if you're thinking of doing that in the future, then you're going to make the next round possible for someone else. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Finally, the easiest way to show support is actually just by clicking like and subscribe if you haven't already, and then joining me across social media. To do this, please go ahead and click on the third card or the third link, which will connect you to my social media feeds. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and I also have a newsletter. So if you would like to, please subscribe to the newsletter and join me on those other networks. And then you can also share the content that you see there on your networks. Whenever you do that sharing, it really actually helps not just the health of this channel, but it helps me check off a few of my planetary goals. I want to really help bring awareness to spirituality and bring it into the mainstream, because I think a lot of times there's been a stigma about talking about psychic and intuitive development and just about awakening. So I'm really trying to get the word out there to normalize this experience and to also pass on the baton so other people can really become light workers and share their light on this planet. So a simple share does a lot, and I just want to say I appreciate you and I appreciate that as well. All right, I'd like to now leave you with your closing word for the month of December. This month, a lot of the energy is about you changing the way you feel about yourself and the way that you really allow others to exist within your space. I want to highlight all the fives because they really came through as a strong message. The Five of Pentacles, all about limits, self-worth, and really demanding reciprocity and equity. Five of Wands, figuring out, is it worth the work that I'm doing right now? Is this purpose aligned to my higher purpose? Five of Swords, being discerning about who you're hanging out with. If they're no longer necessary, stepping away from them and allowing for something new to come into your life. All of this is ultimately leading you to realize how much strength you have to offer the world, how much enlightenment you've gained through your own life experiences, and that this is your turn to really experience a sense of independence, of growth, and to really explore a little bit. You may be, for the first time, in a place where you're on your own, but you can handle everything that's coming your way. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your journey. I wish you the happiest of holiday seasons and a really happy new year. I hope I see you for the January live feeds that I'll be doing this month. It would be a great time to join me on social media if you haven't already, because I'll be announcing the live feeds as they happen on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. But in the meantime, I just want to say again, take care of yourselves. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this journey, and I'll see you again soon. If not this month, then I'll see you in January.